My guest at this time hosted Jamie Iovine's Halloween Hoot Nanny this past Tuesday night. It is, of course, Jamie Iovine. Jamie, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me here today.
Nick, thank you so much for having me once again. I love coming into Wrestling Inc. and just talking about things I love, which is wrestling.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Like you're double dipping here, promoting, wrestling, all kind of literally under the same tent at the moment. First of all, before we kind of get to the nitty gritty, because I know there's a lot of little stories I want to get into. Are you happy with how the show came across? Like, how are you feeling 48 hours removed from the Hoot Nanny?
Obviously, they're overall loved it. Loved the show overall. I thought everybody seemed to have had an incredible time, like the fans and the talent alike. I got approached by pretty much the whole locker room afterwards saying that they had a great time on the show, that they would love to do it again, which, that's what I look for. I mean, we entertaining the fans, we could do that. That's the easy part, but if I could get these guys like happy to be there and happy to work with me, then that's infinitely better for me. And in terms of how I felt about the show, how I was received and stuff, seemed to have been received fairly well. From what I get on social, I'm waiting for the numbers from Fight, but I mean, seemed to have done fairly well, and I'm very happy with the reception and the run of show. Of course, there was a few things that I would have liked to have not happened, but it's part of the business, and we got to keep it moving.
Yeah, so let's address, I guess, the elephant in the room here first. Yeah, Starboy Charlie, breakout star. He's only like 19 years old. Real sensation. Yeah, broke his leg at the show. Like, what exactly happened here with Starboy Charlie?
As far as I can tell, just reviewing the footage back a few times, Starboy was reversing a move and landed incorrectly on as a move that I'm sure he's done hundreds of thousands of times, as it always is whenever something like this happens in wrestling. And it's just horrible luck. I mean, you're gonna have to pardon me. My do not disturb is not on. I'm sorry. It just horrible luck. And he landed incorrectly, and I mean, not incorrectly, because that would imply he did something wrong, which he didn't. I mean, he landed wrong, and unfortunately he got injured, and I was immediately devastated, because I brought in Charlie I'm a fan of his. I really am. I think I think we're only seeing the beginning of what he's truly capable of in this business, and to see him go down really broke my heart. It really did, and because I don't want anybody to get injured on any of my shows, but the fact that it happened, he was a really good sport about it. Understood that this isn't ballet as it is, and it comes with the territory. Where me included, we put ourselves on the line every time we go into those ropes, and unfortunately, accidents happen. But I'm going to turn on my do not disturb because it is making so much noise. I apologize, but at the same time, I wish him all the best. All the speediest recovery. He's a stud. He's a star. He's going to get better. He's going to be even better when he comes back. I already know.
So with you, what you're a promoter here, right? You're also getting ready for this match with Rocky Romero. Like, what happens when something like this occurs on the show? Like, what was the scrambling like backstage, I guess?
Well, first and foremost, the safety of the performer is paramount. First and foremost, like, we got to make sure he's okay. We got him backstage immediately as possible. Luckily I had some medical people there that were able to tend to him pretty quickly. And we got him to the doctor really fast, and he was able to get a room in the emergency room, thank God. It's something I've never experienced before. I really was kind of rolling with the punches. Thank God I had a lot of people there that knew that kind of been in situations like this before. So, I mean, I was really blessed to have a lot of people around there that could help me through such a horrible situation.
And how does your parents feel about this, man? Like, you're using your resources and your time to go into pro wrestling promoting. Like, what's your dad think about this kind of thing?
It's a little of a shell shock for him, because it's a world that it's the one aspect. I've brought this up before. It's the one avenue of entertainment that he can't really touch. It's the one avenue that he has no real influence or sway in, and I mean, arguably, I suppose, but but it's something that he's trying to understand more. And he came to the show. He had a great time. He thought it was a fantastic event. So that made me happy. The fact that he brought his wife, he brought his wife's parents. Like it was a
Wow.
whole family affair. My girlfriend and her parents were there. It was it was a hometown crowd, and it really felt good. I think this show showed a little more as to why I'm doing this and why it makes me so happy. I think they got a better idea of it from this past Tuesday.
Well, it sounds like you're going to keep doing these, Jamie. Like,
Yeah.
are you all in now? Is this like, now you're finding your footing, and the hope is to be running here sooner than later with your own stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, I am looking to do more. I kind of got the bug now. I mean, Annie Up was such a fun show, and that was a hit. And, the Hoot Nanny seems to have done just as good, if not better, in terms of the reception that it got online. And I can't wait to do another one. And I'm hoping to do it sooner than later. And I wouldn't be surprised if you got an announcement at some point about a new independent promotion propping up sooner or later.
Wow. Okay. So not just Jamie Iovine. It's like you got three letters in mind, Jamie. Is
No,
that what you're saying?
I got to be honest with you, because Nick, I like you. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have I do not have an acronym ready yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I want the name to be good, and I want it to be right. So I'm thinking about it. I mean, I'm not out here trying to compete with anybody. I'm not out here trying to make trying to put anybody out of work or anything like that. I'm here to be harmonious with the entire wrestling world, because I love everybody involved in it. I mean, I've met some bad apples, but by and large, it's been a very welcoming family and environment that I'm very grateful to be a part of.
Yeah, and you talk about wanting to be harmonious, work with everybody. Your opponent is really, really good at that, Rocky Romero. I mean, he works with literally everybody. So what was it like for you, man, to get to be able to step in the ring and work with Rocky here on the show?
Well, first off, Rocky was real. I mean, working with Rocky, the idea was really intimidating. Like this is only my third that was only my third professional match that I've had in front of people and stuff like that. And as you've mentioned, Rocky Romero's pedigree is second to none. He's wrestled literally everybody. He's one of the best super junior heavyweights. I mean, super junior weights, or I'm forgetting the full name of it, but one of the best that's ever been in New Japan. I mean, and he's the guy at New Japan. Like in terms of the American relationships. He has a lot of sway in the world of professional wrestling, and he's also, in my opinion, one of the best in-ring workers I've ever seen. And, going up against him, I knew that, okay, there was no way I was going to be able to beat him in a wrestling match. There was no way. I mean, I already knew that the odds were against me going into this one, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to beat him with just straight up grappling. So I think in my wisdom, I was able to put together and make it a no disqualification Halloween horror street fight, which unfortunately gave me a chance, but didn't turn out so well in the end. Once again.
Yeah, big old Freddy Krueger laying you out there.
Jason, actually.
Jason. Sorry, I'm not a horror aficionado.
All good, brother. All good.
Yes. Freddy Krueger with the no, Jason with the mask.
Jason
Freddy
has the hockey mask. Freddy has the claws.
Freddy has the fingers. Right. Sorry.
Yes.
Well, even still, I mean, like, how was Rocky's reaction after the match? Like, what? Any notes or advice or anything backstage afterwards?
Oh yeah. I mean, Rocky's always got his teaching hat on. I mean, he's got so much knowledge just from his years and years of in-ring work from all over the world, not just Japan or America, literally all over the entire globe. And he not only just for me, but for a lot of the locker room backstage, he was there to offer a lot of advice. I was very beneficial and grateful to have two, not just one, but two, in the form of Gangrel, long storied legends. Like, you have been around the world and wrestled for multiple promotions, and they were able to impart such advice and knowledge to a young locker room, and I was so grateful about that. And in terms of our match, Rocky did have a lot to say. I mean, he seemed by and large, he seemed very happy about it. He had a lot of fun doing it. He got to play a role in a crowd that he doesn't always get to play, and of course, he had a lot of notes for me. He had some that he wants to implement. Like next time I go into my training, he had some just things that I could work on next time. And, next time we meet, maybe the outcome will be a little different.
Well, you can't have a Halloween hoot nanny without Gangrel. You had a bunch of scary people on this show. Vinny was on this show. This was a weird timing for him, obviously, because like everyone in ROH, unfortunately, kind of lost their jobs like yesterday as we're recording this.
Yeah.
When you had him, did you have any vibe that something was up with Ring of Honor or no?
I had no idea. I mean, I know Ring of Honor has been. I know they're ever since the pandemic started. I know Ring of Honor's, I guess, consistency has been in waves. They were one of. I got to commend them though. They were one of the very first people to really attack this. Performing with COVID guidelines and whatnot. When they sequestered people, they quarantined people before they worked with them for a period of time and stuff. So I commend them on that, but. I know that it's been a little tumultuous of a run since 2020 March of 2020. And it's really sucks. I mean, to see something like this happen. I have a lot, now a friend in Vinny as well, but I have a lot of friends who are signed to Ring of Honor, like Tyler Bateman, like Tyler, one of the greatest people I've worked with in wrestling. Me and Royce, when we worked together, had some incredible battles with Bateman, and it sucks to see some talent like that no longer have a place of employment. Do I think he's going to be okay on the indies? Absolutely. Tyler's an incredible talent, and I have no doubt that he will find work. But every time something like this happens, whether it be the mass releases by the WWE or Ring of Honor completely like saying we may be back, we'll see what happens. It sucks. It just really sucks because, as somebody mentioned online, I'm briefly forgetting who it was, but I saw somebody tweet that not everybody gets signed after these things. Yes, it is a fresh breath of air when you get released like that, in the sense that your options are huge, but at the same time, not everybody's going to get immediately swooped up by these companies. I mean, how many more people can AEW hire at this point? Their roster is so huge, and Impact is hiring as many people as they can as possible. And it's not that they shouldn't hire more people; they absolutely should hire people. But it's a sign of the times and how these companies are adjusting to not nearly as much revenue as they would expect without a pandemic. So.
Yeah, a good point. But in this, as somebody getting into promoting right now, all these free agents that are out there, do you see like some opportunity for yourself to, as you move into promoting with all these notable names kind of at your disposal at the moment?
Absolutely. Like, for instance, there's been a few talent from Ring of Honor that I wanted to work with that had on my shows that I couldn't. Tyler, for instance, Tyler Bateman. I've always wanted to have him on the show. Max the Impaler, I love her. I think what they do is incredible. Like, it's incredible character. I would love to have her. It's just I definitely see plenty of even though he wasn't contracted there. Tyler Rust is somebody that I would love to have. He's been on Ring of Honor a couple times. He's just got released from NXT. I would love to have him on the show. He was incredible when he was in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And the fact that they let a talent like that go in general is baffling to me.
It is pretty crazy, man. Like, what do you think about WWE's attempt to rebrand NXT? Have you been watching it? Like, what do you think of the product they're putting out right now?
I have been watching it, and I like and I don't. There's some things I like and just a few things I don't. I don't enjoy what I do like. There's a good amount of new characters that I enjoy. There's Braun Breaker, like he's my new favorite wrestler ever. He's only got, he's gonna put him on the main roster tomorrow. You know, like this guy's, in my opinion, like this guy's incredible. You know, I love, even though Don't Tell Vinny, but I love D'Angelo. I love him so much. I blinked on his name.
Dexter Loomis. I'm guessing is coming to mind.
No. The other Italian.
Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo. Yes. Yeah, love him. Don't tell Vinny I said that though, because he might get upset. And but I do like. There's a lot of new characters I enjoy, like the brothers, those two brothers that are part of the Diamond Mine.
Creed brothers, great.
Creed brothers. God, the Creed brothers are incredible. God, like some of the stuff I see them do is ungodly. But you know, there's some stuff that I think is still. I don't appreciate that it's being regulated back down to being seen as less than.
Right.
You know, they had done so much to really make it seem like, okay, this is on the same level as SmackDown or Raw, which, you know, we all know that this is still developmental. We know that. But if in order, you know, it's seeing it, perception is key to this whole thing, you know, and if you're not perceiving it as something as important, then why would people want to tune in if it's not viewed as something as important? It's my opinion. And I think just a lot of the programming is starting to show it's really starting to run like a Vince and Bruce Pritchard production, which there's nothing wrong with that. I've been a big fan of Vince and Bruce Pritchard's for years. It's just in order to catch these guys' audiences again, they needed to be something different. And just doing the same thing over and over again isn't going to work.
Well, I got to wrap by asking you, we're talking about Vince here, but I'd like to shift for a moment to talk about Shane. So why were you talking to Shane McMahon last night, Jamie?
Yeah. So I'm sitting at home, you know, decompressing from the previous day's events, and Shane, I get a FaceTime from an old friend of mine named Dave Ossico, and he says, I'm with somebody that I think you'd want to talk to, and I said, all right, who is it? And then Pant gives the guy the phone, and it's freaking Shane McMahon, you know. And I was like, "Oh, Shane, what's good, man? How's it going?" And I'm like, and I called him Shane O'Mac from the minute I that he answered the phone. So I don't know how he received that, but he was really nice to talk to. You know, we just chopped it up. You know, I find a kindred spirit with Shane. I really do. You know, we're both in similar positions in terms of like being offspring of who we are, or like, you know, trying to make our own way in the world when, you know, being the fathers of both of us are, you know, have done so much and we're just trying to keep up. And I really had a fun time just talking to Shane and just about like how he navigates the world and stuff like that. And he was just a cool dude. And, you know, I wish I could say we were talking about something in the works, but no, it was just a fun phone call, FaceTime message to get. And it was dope. I really appreciate it.
Had you talked to Shane? Did you know him before? Cause like, I know you were like around, you know, through all the Attitude Era and things like that.
See, that's what's so funny. Shane literally came back when he returned back in 2016. Excuse me. When he returned back in 2016, that was literally a month after I left. That was literally a month after I was gone. So we literally missed each other. We just missed each other. And so no, I didn't. This was a cold introduction. I had never met the guy before.
Wow. See, I saw it and I immediately assumed that like at some point he had been your babysitter or something like that.
Yeah, God, wouldn't that have been something, right? I mean, that if I had been out in New York a lot more, maybe that would have happened. But you know, I didn't think young Shane McMahon made his way to California that much.
I don't know. You guys all got private jets. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, Jamie, I'm really happy for you, man. I'm glad you're having a good time. And I'm glad that there's just another good guy promoting and giving people work right now, especially as another promotion leaves the table for the moment. It's nice to see what you're doing at the moment. So if people want to go find you, follow you, support you, everything that you're doing right now, where do you want to send them?
Well, first off, Nick, thank you so much for having me always. I mean, you always treat me so well whenever I come on this show, and you're an incredible, consummate professional. So I really appreciate it. I really do. But anyway, you could find me. I see at the bottom of my graphic right here, it's got my Twitter. It's got my Twitter handle right there, JAMIE_IOVINE. Still trying to unlock that account that doesn't have the underscore. Somebody else has it.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. We have the same thing. I'm Nick _Hausman. I get it, man.
Somebody has, it's the worst. Or you could, but on Instagram, it's just Jamie Iovine, JAMIEIOVINE. And I always post, I run Network, which is the shopping app. So I'm co-founder of it. I also run it with my partner, Aaron Levant. But you can find us on NTWRK, download our app, or follow us on social media for all the daily drops and exclusive items. And a lot of them you can't find anywhere else. And also just stay tuned for more announcements for a new show coming up. I mean, like I'd expect it sooner than later. I can't say when. I'm not going to say when, but it's sooner than later.